I've never been incarcerated whatsoever, and I felt like I wasn't a citizen.
A local senior describes spending a week without power in a senior apartment complex after Hurricane Ida, and a week evacuated to a state shelter under armed guard. Investigative reporter David Hammer spoke with the man about what he and dozens of other seniors have gone through over 2 horrendous weeks. He also spoke with the neighbor who stepped in to help him, and with government officials who now say something must change at privately run senior apartments that get federal housing money.
Photographer Mark Mascar had been living in New Orleans a year when Hurricane Ida blew through. The storm wasn't the eye-opener for the Englishman. That came from a new friend he met when he went to charge his phone at McCool's Irish pub a week after the storm.
That hour or 2 hours we spent together charging our phones, we met for a reason.
Mascar's friend doesn't want to be identified. He fears retribution for speaking out about the conditions he endured for a full week at St. Michael's Senior Housing.
It was horrifically hot.
Now, we tried to go in to speak to the management here at St. Michael's Senior Housing. They did not allow us in the building, but I did speak briefly on the phone with the manager, Annette Ducote, who said that the tenants were taken very good care of here, but we do not have a backup generator.
They should have had backup generators similar to what they had over at the Brown Derby Superstore. That should have been in place.
St. Michael is one of more than 30 independent, privately run senior centers in New Orleans that are not required to have backup generators or an evacuation plan. 5 residents of those centers died, including 2 at the Flint Goodrich Apartments. That center, along with St. Michael, is in City Councilman Jay Banks's district. He and his council colleagues hope to force the private companies that own the complexes to have disaster response plans.
I don't know what legally we can require, but I know morally we have a responsibility to make sure that that never happens to your mother, to my mother, grandmother, aunt, neighbor, anybody else. We cannot let this happen again.
The city began emergency evacuations when the deaths were discovered. They didn't get to St. Michael until Sunday, September 5th. Without warning, residents were loaded on buses and evacuated to Shreveport, to a state shelter at an old abandoned Sam's Club. About 1,000 seniors and other evacuees with special needs were given cots, bedding, and pillows. But this senior said he felt like a prisoner being frisked by armed guards and found more squalid conditions.
They had feces, they had urine all over the floors, all over the toilet seat area.
A state Children and Family Services spokesperson said the facilities can't be kept pristine, but vendors did clean the restrooms on a regular basis. The evacuees were at the Shreveport shelter for more than a week. They got these yellow wristbands left over from previous Texas evacuees to finally return home this Monday.
All the expense of moving people, placing them in the warehouse, shipping them on buses, RTA buses, all that expense could have been avoided with just one generator.
And if city or state officials can force the center's private owners to take precautions before the next blackout, it could also save lives. David Hammer, Eyewitness News.
City Health Director Dr. Jennifer Avegno says her staff was in touch with some of the senior apartments before Hurricane Ida, but not all of them. She said the city is collecting information now on senior apartments that receive multifamily housing money from HUD, the Federal Housing and Urban Development Agency.